Welcome back to another edition of Coley's World. Today I want to talk to you about what it's like to date a psychopath, because there's lots of reading information online, plenty, but there's not a lot of video out there actually. And I think it's kind of good to hear it firsthand and see what it's like. First, I want to read sort of like what the traits are of a psychopath so that you can, see if this applies to you or a loved one. Lack of empathy, guilt, conscience, or remorse. Shallow experiences of feelings or emotions. Impulsivity and a weak ability to defer gratification and control behavior. Superficial charm and glibness. I can tell you that my ex checked on lots of those traits, actually most of them. The only one I can tell you is that the impulsivity I never really saw. I didn't see that until obviously at the end. So I'm not sure, but I didn't live with him, so I think that changes things a little bit. But he had all of them. Also online, you can take a test. I'm pretty sure it's 20 questions, and you answer 0, 1, or 2. 0 for doesn't apply to me, 1 sort of applies to me, and 2 is definitely me. And I did it for him, based on the things that I knew, because obviously there's parts of his life that I wasn't privy to because he basically just hid everything, which is a key because they will manipulate and lie from the beginning to the very end. It doesn't end. Everything was a lie, and that's just how it is. So he definitely had a lot of those traits. Anyway, so the test, basically what you do is you take it, and he's 30, is considered a psychopath in America. 25 is considered a psychopath in England. 40 is the top score you can get, and he scored a 27 based on things that I just guessed at, on stories I had heard that I gave either a 0 or a 1. So they could technically be 1s or 2s even. So, he's definitely a psychopath, 100%. There's no question about it. He hid things from me that I find shocking. I'm still finding out more and more things. I'm stopping now because I don't want to know anymore. Every part of it was heartbreaking. I discovered emails that I didn't know about, and I already knew about 3, but there's more. Facebook, Instagram accounts that are also his that, were never disclosed or whatever. It just doesn't end. It quite frankly doesn't end. He could literally be any other person. I would never know because, whatever. I also found a video that he posted. We had gone to a concert, and he was filming at this concert because he thought there might be things that his job would like. And he's like, oh yeah, whatever, like I can get paid for it. You can get, the money for the ticket back and parking. And I was like, oh, that's great. Like I would love the money. And he's like looking at me, and I'm like, well, I paid for the tickets. And he doesn't say anything and whatever. And I didn't think more about it because, again, like who thinks like, oh, it never even occurred to me to care. And I found the video that he did in fact make money off of. So, it's pretty fucking shitty. I'm just going to say that. It's pretty fucking shitty. It's shitty. I'm not even asking for the money. Like, you couldn't take your girlfriend that you claim to love to dinner. It's crazy. So there's lots of things like that will go on. If you find one, there will be many. My advice to you is to run the second that you find even one thing that was a lie and or manipulation. One secret, because it's all secrets, I promise. I didn't listen to my instincts, which is, good for him, because I completely ignored everything because I was completely in love with him, completely and utterly. He made it that way. Somebody once said to me that you didn't fall for him, he tripped you. And he did trip me. He did. He lied. He manipulated. He told me he was married. He wasn't married, and he was. And it's not like I met him like on the internet. I didn't. It wasn't like online dating. Not to say that that's a bad thing. It's not. I'm just saying he came to me through friends. People I knew him. And that's shocking because that means that literally he pulls a con job on them too. And that's what they do. That's what they do at work. That's not a surprise. That's absolutely what they do. I actually pulled up the top jobs so I can read them because it's hysterical. So the highest rate of psychopaths. CEO, lawyer, I love my friends who are lawyers, I'm not saying anything. Media, TV, radio, salesperson, surgeon, journalist, police officer, clergy person. I mean, that should tell you something. And 100% he does hold one of those jobs, and I'm not going to say which, but he does. So 100%. So it's really, they don't stop lying. I mean, they lie at work. He completely manipulated them for years. Years and years, he told them that he was a single father. He was not remotely a single father. Not remotely. His wife lived at the house. Like, he was full of shit. And that was the last lie I caught him in. Like, I also caught him hiding things. He hid an adult son from me. Like, he had an adult son I didn't find out for a year. And it was his little son who told me that he had a brother. And I questioned him. I texted him and I said, who is this older son? Obviously, I used the person's name. And he goes, well, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah are these kids who used to live in my mom's house. Like, it was the most ridiculous, who used to call me dad sometimes. Like, what? Like, grown men don't call you dad unless you're the father. Like, it was such a load of shit. And that's the thing, and in the end, I was like, okay, like, I was pregnant with not my baby, which I was a surrogate. It's a story I'll tell one day. And I didn't want to, upset my pregnancy. I didn't want to make myself stressed out. I didn't really even want to make decisions while I was pregnant like that. So I was like, fuck it. Anyway, what's the difference? Like, I still would have dated him if he had a son or not. Like, I didn't care about that. It's an adult son. Things happen. Like, it's like, who am I to judge? And that's one of the things that's very attractive to a psychopath. The fact that I have high rates of empathy, the fact that I have a high emotional intelligence, the fact that I'm strong and I fight, because I'll fight for the relationship. I'll fight to understand. I'll fight to, get him to understand. Like, I'll see the empathy, and it's just so easy to manipulate someone who's like that. I mean, it just so is. And even if I was, the thing is, though, I would have liked him regardless. Like, that's the funny part, is that I didn't care about those things for real. Like, if he had just told me up front, I would have been fine with it. I mean, obviously not the wife thing, that, I would have not dated him. And that's probably why, a lot of these other issues started kind of flaring up, and our relationship was awful towards the end, because that was it. That was the final blow. I mean, he completely lost my trust after that. I mean, completely and utterly. And he still continued to lie. I mean, even after that, when he promised me that he would spend the rest of his life making it up to me and proving to me that I could trust him and that there were no more secrets and no more lies, he continued to lie, like with that video. Continued to lie every single day. And when I would bring it to his attention, it was always a denial. Always, always, always. Like that song. I don't know if you guys have heard it ever. It wasn't me. She caught them in the shower. She caught them on camera. It wasn't him. And the thing is, that song is so funny. It is so funny, because I would think, God, like, who could, you have evidence, like, who's denying? No, that's a real thing people do. They're called psychopaths. Like, for real, denied it. Like, every piece of evidence, it was like a mountain, and he still denied it. And that's the killer, because I just wanted him to accept it, like, accept responsibility, but he couldn't. And the thing is that they can accept responsibility. So to all of you psychopaths out there who think that you can just do whatever the hell you want, that's not how it is. Because it takes just as much effort to pretend to be someone as it is to be someone. So you might as well just be who you are and stop, like, being so lazy, because that's all it is. I mean, it's just a laziness, and you can see it. It's like, I can't be bothered, so I won't. I mean, what is that? That's ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. Oh, so you can't be a good person because you're just too lazy? Okay, whatever. It's just sheer laziness. And that's fine. Listen, you don't want to be intelligent? Don't be intelligent. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it's not really, hard to con someone who's already nice. Whatevs. I can also say that I definitely attract psychopaths with my personality. That's a real thing. I just had another one on words with friends. Keep continuing to go back and forth, same person from before. He says things that are so similar to what my ex-boyfriend would say that I actually, for like 10 seconds, thought I was being duped and that it was my ex-boyfriend and he was just pretending to be someone else, because it was so similar, it was scary. So that's one bonus. Believe me, once you meet a psychopath and date them, you'll never do it again. 100% you won't. So take some solace in that. But if you can, you need to go, and it's really hard. I have great memories of us together, lots of great memories. We took lots of vacations together, did lots of fun things. And it's really hard when you know that all those things were a lie. Every last thing was just a lie. That's just how it is. It is. It's a lie. It's a manipulation. It's a con. They don't care about you like that. You're just disposable, more or less. I mean, yeah, if you work out for them, they'll keep you around, but that's all it really is. It's not more than that. Yeah, they'll keep you around so long as it's beneficial. And it wasn't beneficial for my particular psychopath anymore, because he saw that I lost all that trust, and instead of doing what he said he would do, which I didn't force him to say, I mean, I didn't suggest that he even say it. I mean, I saw that he had no remorse, that when I would explain to him how it felt and how he broke my heart because he lied such a huge lie, and everything after that was such a huge lie, because obviously if you tell someone you're divorced, you have to make up every single lie, and it just wasn't really working for him. Like, I was catching all these things and I just didn't know how to, you know, box it into a psychopath. I didn't realize that was what the situation was. I didn't know. Yeah, I mean, it's really hard. You lose trust. I mean, if you have half a brain, you absolutely lose trust. And I did. And he promised, and he didn't deliver, not remotely, because he didn't give a shit. He kept me around. He thought that he could dupe me again. He saw that it wasn't really working. And, you know, little by little, he started, you know, walking out the door. And I'm sure that's what lots of those recordings are about, or the one recording. I'm sure that's what it was about. So he could prove to his new girlfriend how psycho I was, just like he did with me and the supposed ex-wife, who wasn't even a fucking ex-wife, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, that's how it is. I mean, that's completely how it is. And it's just all a lie. I mean, and I'm sure there's someone else. I'm pretty sure. It might be hard now with the quarantine, but his behavior had definitely started to change. And when his behavior changes, something's up. Their routine, I mean, at least my psychopath was, I'm sure that's, you know, more on the higher end rather than the lower end. But yeah, you know, he was very routined. And when your routine changes, something's up. And his routine changed, and, you know, that's how I kind of felt like something was up. So yeah, so no more searching for me. I'm done. I discovered a lot. There was just a lot for 2.5 years. So many lies, so many just like things he hid, so many manipulations. I mean, the whole relationship was a manipulation, the whole thing. And I can't stress that enough. To all of you people out there, you know, anyone who doesn't know or doesn't know what to do or wants to know if the pain will go away. Yeah, it does. Eventually, it does. And 100%, I feel broken because you can't believe someone could manipulate you for so long. So long. Like, it definitely doesn't help that I don't trust people now. 100% I don't. So as I said before, I'm very grateful for a quarantine because I definitely, you know, need it. But yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, yeah, you get over it and then it hurts again, and then you get over it and then it hurts again. That's why I have a list of all of the lies and things he hid from me, so that I can look at them and remember. And that's why I remember that quote about him tripping me, because that's what I need to remember to get through all the good memories that are just fake. They're just fake. I mean, yeah, they're good for me, but there was a motive behind everything. You know, I'm just a nice person, and I'm not even that nice, really. I mean, I'll happily fight you, not with a fist or anything, but I mean, I'll happily stick up for myself. And, you know, I mean, it's not like I'm naive. I'm just nice because I am. I like to help. And that's attractive to a psychopath who wants to manipulate, because they know that they'll get away with so much more. And he did. So much more. I mean, he just got away with so much that I would ever tolerate from another person, like for real, because I didn't want to judge, and I just didn't want to put myself in his position, because I thought, well, I don't know how I would act. I don't know how I would be. Like, I don't know how I would handle that. And that's the thing. You try to put yourself in that position. It's called empathy. You're trying to empathize. That's why I got away with it, because he just, so annoying. It's so annoying. But you know, that's what it's like. I mean, I'm sure there are more horror stories out there. I know there are. I've read them. There are. I was very lucky. You know, we weren't married. We don't have kids together. We didn't live together. I don't need him for anything. You know, his ex-wife lived at that house, you know, for 10 years and was basically ceremoniously dumped on the curb because he, you know, found me, I guess, and I was far more appealing. But she stayed. She had to take abuse and his crap, which is not pleasant at all, because she doesn't have any place to go. She didn't have anything to do. I mean, you know, she has her own psychosis and she's an alcoholic, and, you know, there's so many things to that, you know, he could, you know, maybe in a way they were both taking advantage of each other, and then he, you know, came upon me, and I guess I looked really good. So, you know, whatever. I mean, I just have nothing to say to that. Yeah. So I know now what a psychopath is. I know what they look like, sort of. And yeah, I won't make that mistake again. And neither will you if you find yourself entangled with one. And the best thing I can tell you is to just untangle yourself. You have to, you must. Don't dig. You know, I did digging because I felt like if I was going to accuse him of stuff, I needed to have evidence that he was doing it so that I felt better about the accusation. So I looked, and truthfully, I didn't need more, because to put his hands on me is all I needed. But I guess I just wanted, again, to understand and, you know, try to imagine what it would be like to be him, because that's just, I mean, it is what it is. It's never going to change. Yeah. And I don't know, it's, you know, it just is what it is. Like, it's fine. Whatevs. Anyway, so now you know. Obviously leave comments, tell me your stories if you have them. I feel bad if you do, because it's really, really hard. Yeah, don't dig. It's not worth it. You have plenty of evidence and you don't need that at all. Yeah, so that's my story. I hope it helps someone out there, and that's the goal. So, you know, please feel free, like and subscribe. You know, wash your hands, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home whenever possible. Hope you guys have a great day. Bye.